this is like a much slower game. Oh, hang on, let's pause by Daft Punk. Love Daft Punk. It's a much slower game at the start. And it's not multiple drops going off at the same time, and it's no 200 death ball by any means. But once the action gets going, it's usually pretty consistent. You see a flood of units, at least this is my experience from day number 1 of casting. And it's very action driven. Now, as far as fast pace, I honestly would not judge it. It'd be like medium paced. I wouldn't call it slow paced, but it's not exactly super fast paced. Either way, I really enjoyed it. I came into day 1 having only seen a couple matches, played a couple myself. I was not disappointed, and if this is your first time watching a STARBOW related event, I don't think you'll be let down either. 7% slower. Actually, fun fact. Well, let's get this going here. If you guys did not see, they actually patched STARBOW. I didn't read the patch notes, but I think it's kind of cool that they did patch them. You bet your ass that was the Dancing Hobbs. What's up, Bali? I'm probably always saying your name wrong, by the way, and I'm super sorry if I am. But anyways, getting into this, guys, this is not Adel Scott, but spawning in the lower left corner of the map, the yellow player, simply known as Adel. And his opponent in the upper left. You know what? That's why it's so quiet. Hang on, I forgot. Star Dodgeball was like insanely loud last night. I turned StarCraft sounds down. There we go. A little bit louder. In the upper left, playing for the Clan TXM, it is not a Maniek, but the Blue Protoss Maniek. Now, this is actually, for like legit season reals, my first ever STARBOW. Whoa. Hold on. Are these neutral mobs that'll attack you if you try and take these side bases? What? What? They actually have attacks. They've got a decent sized health pool. What? Okay, I can't wait to see what this is about. Anyways, this is my first time casting a mirror matchup in STARBOW, and it does end up being a PvP, go figure. We'll see how this game looks. Again, I'll try not to be too condescending and talk about like a lot of the basic stuff for today, but you guys have to realize there's going to be a decent amount of people tuning in that have never seen this game before, never heard of it. They're like, okay, I've seen the hype on Reddit, let's check this out and see what it's about. The first thing I'll tell you, and this is like something that's really frustrating me and a point that I really want to drive home, this is not StarCraft 2 Brood War. This is not StarCraft. This is STARBOW, and if you try and play this game out like it's one or the other, you're actually probably going to have a pretty bad time. A perfect example of this was J-Dong when he played. Thought it was Brood War, didn't get what he expected, hated the game immediately. There's other players who have kind of embraced the essence of it, like BC Cutie last time. He didn't drop a single map of the first tournament, and a big part of it's because he embraced it for what it was and not what, you know, he thought it should have been. Now, this is the first big difference in this mod, guys. There's no chrono boost on Nexuses. You don't have them innately. You have to actually upgrade them, and you need the gateway tech to actually research this. So it'll put a giant crystal like on top of the Nexus. There we go, or tower, a monolith, if you will. But this grants the Nexus not only the ability to chrono boost for a significantly cheaper amount, but you can also chrono boost cannons to make them attack faster, which is kind of cool. There's no photon overcharge in the game, and force fields have been removed. Warp tech is a much later date, and of course there's no more stalker. Well, there are stalkers, but more focused upon dragoons. But the other really cool fact of what you get with this upgrade is a sort of mass recall ability. Now, if you use mass recall from the Nexus, if you use it from the Arbiter, by the way, guys, it's pretty much instantaneous. But if you use it from the Nexus, it's like a 15-second, like it instantly grabs them, but you have to wait like 15 seconds before you can use the units again. So it's more of a get away from danger rather than come back home and defend ability. But we do see 2 Dragoons being produced at a time here from Maniek. So in this regard, I imagine PvP is not too different, where 2 gates beats out 1, but you also see them both researching the ranged upgrade immediately and wondering, wait, why is he not using Warp Tech on the Cyber Core? Well, unfortunately, I cannot show you with the GameHeart UI, but it's a much later tech dive, and Warp Tech, not quite what it is in StarCraft 2 normally. Okay, my first blood button's not working. I'll have to look into that afterwards. Just kind of hoping it would just get slammed down. You know what, the hotkeys are probably disabled because I was playing last night. Damn it, Rifkin, get your crap together. Anyways, 2 Dragoons coming across the map. There's a probe here, but of course, proxy pylons, like I said, no warp tech means no danger. Oh, I really want to see this thing come into effect, though. I mean, I know this is just a critter, but it's a critter with an attack, and usually things don't have an attack, scantids and what have you. But anyways, here on the home defense, one thing worth noting, guys, STARBOW does have this very unique aspect to it, where if you shoot uphill, you actually have the 50% chance to miss. So think Dota 2. Now, unfortunately, Adel is chasing out here into what he thinks is a safe location, but now it's 4 Dragoons versus 2. Simply outnumbered here. The Zel's going to try and get involved, but there's too many Dragoons. It's like watching Soccer Wars. He's going to have to back out of this. So, choosing to take a very unfortunate engagement. Hold position on top of the ramp. Could play a little bit better into its favor, but with 3 gateways and being chrono boosted out, should be okay to defend. Now, for those who don't know, Chrono Boost, like I said, it's 50% faster on most buildings, but it's 100% faster on a gateway. There's that recall I was talking about before, too, so grabs all those Dragoons, gets them home alive, and like I said, it's a very long delay upon when you can use them again. But, in no real danger, Maniek retreats, and I like that. That's pretty cool. Now, another thing about sTARBOW, for if you guys are new to it, you do mine minerals at a much significantly faster rate. There's only 1 geyser because you get 8 gas per trip, and this is a big part of why we don't see an expansion coming out very quickly like you would in any other matchup for regular StarCraft. But seeing a lot of Dragoons and the Nexus coming down himself, Adel may have to consider taking his own expansion here in a moment. Still a bit of a fight that should be evenly numbered. The only difference is, of course, Maniek's Dragoons are not full health, full shields. So that's going to hurt just a little bit, but when you take that high ground advantage, that's going to matter a lot less. Now it looks like you should be able to force a cancel on the Nexus. Look at those pelvic thrusts. Get your workout in, boys. No cancel for Maniek. That's actually really going to hurt. That's 100 resources out the door, but an observatory is coming out here in just a moment's time. We're going to have the Robo coming out shortly after if he wants to go through that tech. Oh, sorry, it's already here. What am I talking about? Of course, you need the Robo to make the observatory. What am I talking about? First cast of the day. Trying to get up here on the high ground to sort of circumvent that 50% chance miss rate. 1 Dragoon does escape with 1 HP for the win, guys. And yeah, this is kind of a bit of a sticky spot for Maniek to have to deal with, because he obviously wanted to expand, but now forced to take fights just to be able to get out of his base. Dragoon Wars coming out at a time, several across the map, but of course, as I said before, they're forced to be rallied. There's no warp tech, there's no proxy pylons. Unit count's looking a little bit better for Adel, but only just barely. What is an Ibarra? What is the what? What? Okay, we'll count that as a bug or something in the unit stab. Obviously not a unit that he has to control, but yeah. Still looking pretty good here on the front lines. His units are getting a bit weak. Might have to start pulling back. He's been dedicating a lot of resources to this, while Maniek's been sort of looking to eventually tech out of this. With that Robo coming up, guys, you might be like, where are the Immortals? Why is he not busting through? Because it's not the same units. Reavers are a thing now, too. If you guys don't know, you need the Robo Bay for it, kind of like the Colossus, but not in a situation like this. You kind of just have to funnel Dragoons. The Observer has a cool upgrade ability, by the way. Like, it's still cloaked like normal, but it's got a cool upgrade ability where it turns on this, I don't know, this extra cloak where you can see it, like, you know, if you detect it, but you won't auto-attack it. Where's this? Actually, it's down here. There you go, Phase Shell. Cover the Observer in a Phase Shell. Enemy units will not attack the Observer unless ordered to your target. So, like, even if they see the Observer, they have to, you can't just, like, move through a scan to get it. Another Dragoon barely escapes with 1 health, but still pressure here on the front lines, and this is kind of what I was talking about before, guys. Like, this is not a super fast-paced game, but aggression's going to be constant, and no one really backs up into death ball scenarios. Would definitely like to see Adel start microing his Dragoons a bit better, though, because he was in this really nice advantage, but now evenly matched on Dragoon counts here. Has to be a little bit careful. His are very low. Trying to take an engagement here. Focus fire down on that one on the right. Looks like he should be able to start pushing this back just a tad, but again, it's 4-3. Just like any other amount of StarCraft 2, numbers mean more than anything else, and unfortunately it looks like Adel is a little bit misrallied there. That's going to cost him a Dragoon, might even cost him 2 if he's not careful. Oh, please retreat through the middle of the map, I beg you. I beg you, find out what this does if you attack it. Still trying to take another fight here though, like, it's very difficult now that he's fallen so far behind in Dragoon count. It's not like he's got the economy to throw up a 4th gateway. It's not like he's got the economy to produce 4 at a time. Now in full retreat, and his opponent's throwing down the Nexus, Maniek is looking to be in a really good spot this game. Getting to the top of the, the high ground might be a good way to take this, but like a tug-of-war, back and forth. And what's really cool about sTARBOW, guys, and I'm not saying like I know this definitively, I'm not an expert at this game yet, but for the games we cast on Wednesday, one really cool thing I noticed was like people who are behind, they really have a chance to come back in the game. It's not like StarCraft 2 where it's like maybe if you leave me alone long enough I can all in you and win. But like in sTARBOW you actually have a legit chance to come back. So as we see, Maniek did push Adel back across the map. He's got an observer above this. And I gotta say, our blue Protoss is looking to be in a better spot, not because of Dragoons and not because of resources lost, but simply because he's teching up, he's getting an expansion, and he's been doing all this while matching Adel. But Adel finally says, screw it, good game. What is this, Dragoons? Maniek will take the first game of the day and move on to the bracket. So big congrats to him.